Hey everybody, Charlie's here. I think he wants to redeem himself from the guilty Charlie clip in last video. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hey everybody, thanks for joining. If you're new, my name is Eva, and if you're returning, thanks for coming back to watch another video. Today's video is a collaboration with several of my YouTube friends. And of course, their videos will be linked below. So make sure you go check out Yota Style, Dawn Loves Couture, James Jam, and Winnie BLV. And today we're celebrating International Women's Day. So we're going to tell you about a woman who really inspires us. And then we're going to tell you a little bit about some of the other friends in our group because we've done a little bit of an exchange. So let's get started. So the woman that I want to tell you more about in today's video is Bonnie Cashin. And some of you may recognize her name as being associated with Coach. She was a designer for Coach between the years 1961 or 62 up to 1974. And I started to become more interested in Bonnie Cashin when I picked up this little bag recently. This is a cash and carry 22 centimeters length across the bottom. And it is a remake of one of her original designs from the 60s. And I thought her idea behind this design was so clever. She used a simple shopping bag as her inspiration, and she turned it into a very nice leather tote. And I thought the idea behind that was so playful and also practical. I just really got a kick out of that. And if you happen to miss my video where I revealed this bag, I will have it linked below. And I'll also include my Amazon link for these super cute Murakami little charms. There's a bigger one here and a smaller one. I think they look so cute together. So after I got that bag, I wanted to learn a little bit more about Bonnie Cashin, and I bought this book. The title is Chic is Where You Find It, and it was written by Stephanie Lake. So I thought you might be interested to know about how this book came to be in the first place. Stephanie Lake was working for Sotheby's auction house, and she was in charge of writing some copy for a Cashin item that was going to be sold there. When she started to do research to write up the content for that listing, she was surprised how little there was to be found about Bonnie Cashin. While she was working at Sotheby's, she was also a grad student at Bard College in Manhattan, so she knew that that would be a great topic for her thesis. So she arranged to meet Bonnie Cashin, and once they had their initial meeting, then they had regular once-a-week meetings until Cashin's death, which was about 3 years later. So she spent a lot of time with Bonnie Cashin. She really got to know her well, and she had full access to her studio and archives. And when Bonnie Cashin passed away, she left her full archive and studio collection to Stephanie Lake. So obviously they had a very special friendship and collaboration, and the results of that are here in this book. Here's an example of some of the great photos in this book. In this photo, there are several cash and carry totes that are displayed. And this is the original design in which my fuchsia pink tote was made from here. And here's another one here that's very similar, but it's more vertical in nature. And then there are others here in fabric. And this photo also shows a cape and a dress that Bonnie designed when she was working for the Sills fashion company. One of the fun things that I read in this book so far is that Stephanie Lake said that Bonnie's clothing collection was hung in closets in her studio apartment that were painted in acid candy colors. And she said that Bonnie felt that, quote, "the insides of things are very important. Closets, dresses, and people." And so that makes so much sense because now that I've seen some original Bonnie Cashin bags, the insides have a very colorful lining. And so that seems to carry through with the little that I know anyway about her garments. They also had details on the inside of the garments or dresses as well. And so to know that she also had the insides of her closets painted with bright colors, that just shows that that was something important to her in all aspects of her design. Here are some photos of Cashin's design studio. It was located in the United Nations Plaza. So she had an apartment there that was for her living space, and she also had a second apartment that was dedicated to her design and archives. In 1969, she said, "When you enjoy things, clutter becomes interesting." Stephanie said in her book that she was basically a design firm of one. She designed for Coach, but she wasn't an employee of Coach. So basically she worked as a freelancer. So she really had a lot of control over what she wanted to do. A few other fun facts. She was the first designer for American Airlines, and she designed the stewardesses' clothing, their outfits. And for a while, she was also contracted to design for Hermes in their sportswear department. Stephanie Lake said that she lived on her own terms and she was very independent. So knowing a little bit more about how she worked as a businesswoman, it gives more insight into that aspect of her personality. And I think that's very impressive and very inspiring, because I know, especially at the time that she was living, women weren't commonly empowered to have so much control over their own lives, especially in a business sense. So these are just some of the things that I've read so far in this book. I haven't made it all the way through. Not only are the photos very beautiful, but the writing is also quite interesting. So I would highly recommend this book if you are interested in learning more about Bonnie Cashin. Okay, now moving on to the next part of the video. We all drew names, and the person whose name we drew, we sent them a little gift to help celebrate International Women's Day. And the person that I drew was Winnie BLV. And I remember when I first found one of Winnie's videos, I was actually searching for an LV bag, and of course Winnie had it and was showing it. And when she introduced herself by saying, "Hey Ewans," I was like, "What? Who is that?" Because the vocabulary Ewans is something that my mom's family always used, and I heard that a lot when we went to visit them. And my mom is from the Appalachian region of northeastern Tennessee, so I definitely was like, who is saying Ewans in a video about a Louis Vuitton product? I just loved how those two things were together, and that's what I really appreciate about Winnie, is that she's real, she loves designer things, but she's also like so down to earth. And I just really connected to her authenticity and of course her sense of humor. She's so funny. And I'm sure you already know that, but it's just always such a breath of fresh air to watch her videos. There was a little delay in shipping. That's why our collab is being posted a few days after International Women's Day. I got this lovely gift from my friend Yota. Her channel is Yota Style. When I opened this up, I saw the box Sticky Zoo, and I've seen ads for the company, but I actually never clicked on any ads or looked at their products in detail. So I was so excited to see this in person, and I can say that I love it. It's made out of really good quality leather, and this design is lovely. So as you can see, it's a little daisy here, but I love how it's constructed because the petals are made out of loops of leather. And the way it attaches to a bag is with a long leather loop, and I like that a lot. So I had my Coach Lana here right behind me. It was my bag of the day, and I wanted to show you how it looks on here, and I think it looks great. I love it, Yota. Thank you so much. I'm so thankful for my YouTube friends and for all the women in my life who inspire me, especially the women in my family, my mom and my grandmas on both sides. So happy International Women's Day. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out my friends' videos. They'll be linked below, and I hope to see you next time.